Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Army of the Dead, and this is the new Zack Snyder zombie heist film coming to Netflix in its 2.5 hour just glory. And this film is directed, written by, and also shot, cinematography by Zack Snyder, along with a score from Junkie XL himself. And this film focuses on this band of people brought together to go into Las Vegas, which is now like a zombie just horde, to try to get a bunch of money out of an underground vault. And you have Dave Bautista right at the front, and he has his estranged daughter helping them off on this mission. And this film starts off with an interesting open. You got Suspicious Minds by Elvis playing, and you have a husband getting roadhead from his new wife in their car and cutting back to a military vehicle, and the two military guys in the front of the caravan who's driving this truck, this Humvee, speculating about what they have in the truck. And it's like the silliest sounding awkward dialogue, and you're just like, what's going on here? And then of course slam together, and it's revealed that there are zombies on it. And this opening sequence is really well shot, except these characters are so stupid, and that is something that's going to continue through the film, as there's not a lot of very smart characters in this, and they fall into a lot of dumb tropes of zombie movies and horror films. So right off the bat, you know this. Then I don't know if anybody is as good at opening credits as Zack Snyder with what he, besides Zombieland, what he did with Watchmen is incredible. And then this one works so well. And honestly, it's not quite like Zombieland, like full-blown comedy, but it's leaning into that slow motion and you showing all of this craziness happening, and then there's also some emotional moments in here. But honestly, it kind of came off like so stylized that this is supposed to be a fun, crazy time. And it turns out, no, this film is not. And that's not really the tone this is going for. At least it doesn't like, that's one of the biggest issues with this film, is tonally it feels too much all over the place. And like, is this supposed to be fun, or are we supposed to be taking this really seriously? Because then it does get super serious right after this opening credits, and you have this really big emotional, beautifully shot scene with Dave Bautista that really sets the tone for the emotional anchor of the film, which he is, and his daughter. And that makes a lot of sense. And Ella Purnell plays his daughter, and they really are the emotional crux here. You also have Ana de la Reguera, who plays Maria, who has a connection with Bautista's character. And they have like a strong emotional connection, but then the rest of the characters are just like in it for the money or in it for other reasons. And you have this whole entire setup. And of course this film is filled with like overly dramatic covers of songs, because, you know, thanks Zack Snyder. And I don't like, some of them took me out of the film, some of them worked really well, some of the musical pieces really worked well, but it felt weird because it kept reinforcing I don't know what the tone of this movie is supposed to be. Because like Suspicious Minds, like that, how it's used is setting up like a fun kind of thing, but like, is this movie really supposed to be fun? But it gets like uber serious out of nowhere, and for some reason the film feels like somebody watched Inception, because like you have this like really rich Asian guy who runs a company who brings a group of people together to do a heist in the middle of a big budgeted genre film. That's Inception. That is also Army of the Dead, because you have Hiroki Sanada, who's like the crux of this. He's the one sending them on this mission, and like the US government wants to nuke Las Vegas, so they have this ticking time bomb kind of thing, except this is 2.5 hours and Zack Snyder takes his time with everything. And like the credits are like 5 minutes. I didn't actually time it, but it felt like full 5 minutes. And there was even a moment where I had stopped it real quick because something was happening I needed to take care of. And it's just like, how's there still 25 minutes left in this movie kind of thing? And it really does take its time in certain places and drags a bit. And then you just have this, like, I don't know who, like, he thought some of these jokes were funny. They're just really insensitive and, like, even they were even trying to make a joke about like being canceled because of something, but like there was no finesse about how it was taken, like that was taken on. So then it just came off blunt and insensitive in the way that it was trying to make fun of. And it's just like, this movie, how I describe it is, I love it when everybody's shutting up. Because the second these characters open their mouths and just spout ridiculous amount of exposition, which one particular character, the coyote, played by Nora Arnazadeh, just everything out of her mouth is just so much exposition, and it feels so on the nose and just so blunt, just like bam, there it is. And it's just like there's not even trying to make it interesting or try to hide the exposition in a meaningful way. It's just so just hits you right in the face, and it just feels so overbearing because she has so much exposition. And there's certain things they could have just went with show don't tell. And Zack Snyder's supposed to be about the visual storytelling, but why are you beating us over the head with the exposition then? And you have this interesting ensemble cast. Like, Dave Bautista's great in this, and I can see why he took this role, because there's some emotional heft to his role, and it really works. And he's a really talented actor. And then you have Omari Hardwick, who has some fun with his role. Theo Rossi, who just plays like a scumbag in everything at this point, and he's definitely a scumbag here. Matthias Schweifer, who plays Dieter, he's the safe guy, and he's really quirky and weird, and like he gets his moments. And like Garrett Dillahunt, right off the bat, he gives off such a Vincent D'Onofrio from Jurassic World vibe that you're just like, dude's gonna screw all these people over. And some kind of BS very similar to what they do in Jurassic World. It's like, you have these crazy weird things, the government wants them, and you have that kind of thing going on, which is really obnoxious. Tig Notaro is fun as this helicopter pilot, and Raul Castillo is like this internet guy that they get because like he loves killing zombies, and him and his partner, they're pretty cool in what they do. There's some fun in the film. It's just a big ensemble here, and not everybody really gets a whole lot of time to shine in it. And you look at how this film is shot as well, there's a strange filter. It uses a lot of purposeful out-of-focus shots to build mystery and tension, but so much of it looks like that absolutely terrible ending scene in Zack Snyder's Justice League with the Joker, where it's like, it's trying to be like, ooh, this is beautiful, but it's so out of focus and obnoxious that it's just like takes me out of the movie. A lot of that pops up in this film too, especially when they're outside. When they're inside and using shadows and like creeping around like a bunch of zombies and stuff like that, that was great and was really well shot. It was just an odd choice here. And they go for some social commentary in the film that feel like similar to some of the really insensitive jokes. It just feels like it's kind of thrown in there that doesn't feel like it has a whole lot of weight to it and doesn't really feel earned. And you have, like, it comes up with some new interesting ideas for zombies. Like, there's zombie horses and tigers, and what's interesting about how this horde works, I thought that was cool. And added something new to the film instead of just doing your standard zombie kind of thing. So I appreciated that. That worked for me. And this definitely delivers on the genre films. The action in this is amazing and thrilling. And when it's leaning into that, like I said before, when everybody just shuts up and does the action and the thriller kinds of things, this film is in its element and really works, and that just shows what Zack Snyder's really good at. And the score, I've only noticed it a couple of times, but there's one particular scene that really grabbed me in this film where Junkie XL's score like really hit you, and it's like sneaking around a bunch of like zombies that are asleep. That whole entire sequence I thought was the highlight of the film. And then it does have an exhilarating climax to the film, especially running through like a casino, and Batista's like shooting zombies as he's running across tables. And there's definitely cliches, like Garrett Dillahunt's character is one giant like red flag cliche. And there's a lot of tropes this leans into, along with some of the fresh ideas. And this film leaves us open for something interesting, and this film has the balls to like give you a not like really nice happy ending. It goes for the emotional impact, and I think it hits. So overall, this film feels like a lot really big mixed bag of things, and I did enjoy this. And this is on like the high end of okay, low end of like this movie for me. And I would watch it again. I would enjoy watching this, but I don't think this is something that like blew me away. I've definitely seen better Snyder films, and then like I've definitely seen better zombie films and action films, but you know, Netflix has something to be proud of here. It at least will grab a lot of people's attention. But those are my thoughts on Army of the Dead. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.